Welcome back, Honestman, Witcher 3, first playthrough. As you can see, I am back in the White Orchard zone here. Before I went to Velen, where we left off last time from Vizima, I backtracked because there were a few other things to pick up here, which I did. And primarily it was just places of power, nothing really super exciting. But I got a bunch more skill points as a result. So just to kind of catch up what's going on there. So I maxed out muscle memory. I also maxed out delusion. And then I started into strength training, which improves my strong attacks as opposed to my weak attacks. Now, it dawned on me that there's only 12 slots here, which is pretty obvious, but it dawned on me there's only 12 slots here. So I need to be thinking about where I'm going to invest those 12. And it's made more complicated too because, right, this second tier here requires, I think, a grand total of 8 points into combat total. So it's not like I could just go straight from muscle memory into precise blows because I don't have enough points invested. So it sort of forces you to do at least 8 points on this first tier, and then similarly getting to the next tier, the third tier, right, it's going to be more points still. So you can't critical path necessarily. You kind of have to spread the points around and invest wide a little bit, not just deep, which makes for some interesting choices. But ultimately, like, even though you're investing in at least 2 skills at this first level, right, you don't actually have to equip them. So it's sort of a short-term, long-term kind of deal. And I'm not sure if this upgrade to strength training is going to be a long-term investment or not. But I needed to put additional points into combat, and that seemed like the best choice. At first, I was inclined to go arrow deflection, because being able to deflect arrows while parrying seems awful useful when you're fighting a group and they've got archers in back shooting at you, interrupting you. But looking at it in the context of 12 total abilities that I have to pick from, I just didn't think that would be good enough to make the cut at the end of the day. So I'm going to forego that. Whereas I think multiple ranks into strength training could hypothetically make the cut at some point. Other abilities that jumped out at me as I was assessing these, I mean, I really just feel like fast attack is the foundation for everything. So muscle memory, definitely. Precise blows increases critical hit percent as well as critical hit damage for fast attacks. That seems like a great passive to me, and I'm assuming this is a passive ability at this point. So I think those 2 are definitely what I want. Muscle memory, precise. Whirl sounds good in theory. Spinning attack, strike a bunch of foes. In practice, I don't know how big that radius is. And also in practice, I don't know how often I'm in a situation where I'm surrounded. I feel like if I'm in a situation where I'm surrounded, I've made some bad choices. So Whirl seems great on paper, not sure it makes sense in reality. Crippling strikes, this one seems really good to me. Fast attacks now also apply a bleeding effect, which essentially damages vitality or essence, and essence, I read that as. That seems really good. A bleed effect seems really good. So that's kind of where my head is at right now. Muscle memory, precise blows, crippling strikes. So heavy into fast attacks. Also in the combat branch, fleet-footed over here in defense. Damage from hits received while dodging is reduced to 20%. And I believe this is going to, if they're giving me 20% at level 1, I believe this is going to cap out at 100%. So basically invulnerable while dodging is how I read that, which seems awful good. But I honestly haven't run into a situation yet, I don't believe, where I got hit while I was dodging. Like, I think all my dodges have been successful dodges. So I'm sure they're going to make me eat these words. But I have fleet-footed on my short list, but I'm not sure if it's going to survive final evaluation if I find that I'm just doing fine with normal dodging and not taking damage. Also from Combat Branch, Undying. When vitality reaches 0, adrenaline points can be consumed to revive you. That's, I mean, being an Undying seems pretty good. But I don't know, here's the other part of it though. I don't know, this is going to sound ridiculous. I don't know if that's good enough. Because at a certain point, right, it's like, well, the best defense is good offense. Right? So this is sort of a playing to lose sort of investment, which I generally shy away from. But I'm not sure what else this adrenaline point economy is really useful for. I don't think they've actually explained that to me yet. I don't think I have anything to spend those points on yet. So, similar to Fleet-Footed, we'll see if this survives the final analysis, but right now Undying is on my short list. And similarly, Razor Focus is on my short list. Instantly gain 1 adrenaline point when entering combat, and also increases adrenaline point generation from sword blows. That seems awful good. Like, even if you don't do Undying, that seems awful good. But especially if you do Undying, it seems even better. So I think I'm definitely doing Razor Focus. It's just a matter of when. And Undying, Fleet-Footed, to be determined. I also really like some of these other ones in Strong Attack. Right, so just like Precise Blows, there's an upgrade for strong attacks called Crushing Blows, which increases crit chance and crit damage. Seems really good. Seems really good to me. And then Rend reduces damage resistance and increases critical hit chance. What's not clear to me if that is... The way I read this, that has to mean critical hit chance just for the Rend, not in general strong attack critical hit chance. There's no way it means everything, right? Because I feel like that's way too good. You end up with an extremely high critical hit percent on strong attacks. So I'm interpreting this as just the Rend attack, which is interesting. I'm not sure if it's good enough, but that's really interesting. Sunder Armor is the one that reduces DR. Rend does not. It just ignores defense. So it's a big, strong hit, basically, where Sunder Armor reduces DR. So these are some really interesting choices in Strong, but having to cut down to 12 in the final analysis, I just don't know that they make the cut, unfortunately. But we'll see. Like, if Fleet-Footed becomes a scratch, if Undying doesn't seem like a great value proposition, maybe go deeper into strength, into strong attacks. That might be the play. Over in Signs, I'm not huge on Signs in general, but I think there's some interesting things here. Igni Melt Armor. That seems really good. But I don't know how to interpret these numbers. Up to a maximum of 15% is the effect. Well, what's the bottom end? Is the bottom end 0? It's hard for me to evaluate this when I don't know what the bottom end is. And actually, where's the maximum? Like, for example, if do I have to go 5 points into intensity here? Does that constitute the maximum? Or is that just partway there and I need to do additional things to boost Igni intensity? So there's a lot of math here that is opaque based on these limited descriptions. But hypothetically, permanently weakening enemy armor seems awful good. The confusion for me, though, as well is, does that specifically apply to armored enemies? As in, like, actual plate armor sort of deal? Or they just mean armor in the sense of every enemy in the game has an armor score, and that's what's being reduced. So it's not clear to me if this is basically just for, like, humanoids in actual armor, or it's talking about game mechanics armor score. I assume it's game mechanics armor score, but I don't know. It's not clear. So these are potentially a pair, though. Maybe this is worth it. Maybe go melt armor and intensity. That seems reasonable. And so those two are on my short list. I'm not sure when. And possibly... Yeah, I'm not sure when. We'll see. And then, as I mentioned earlier, I've already maxed Delusion. Obviously, this is for the role-playing benefits, the social benefits, not for the combat benefits. Which is kind of good insofar as it sort of gives me a 13th ability. Because I can conditionally swap this out for, like, melt armor as I'm transitioning from social situations to combat situations. The other one that I highlighted here was Quen. This is the shield. This is the damage absorb. Absorbs 7% of your total vitality, which is really nice. I was experimenting with this between sessions. I really do like it. Active shield. So basically, instead of the 7% of max vitality, active shield just turns on this shield 100%, but it drains stamina. Higher levels reduce the stamina drain to 0. So that seems awful good. But this is another one similar to Fleet-Footed, where, like, what's the value if you're not getting hit? Right? I mean, are there going to be things that are so difficult to avoid that you just have to eat it? Then this seems really good. But otherwise, I don't know. It's on my short list. We'll see if it makes the final cut. In Alchemy, I'm not a huge fan of Alchemy. I know it can be super strong, at least based on Witcher 2, it can be super strong. I assume the same is true here. But I generally don't like Alchemy because I'm a hoarder and it's just consumables, right? You have to use components to make potions, to make oils, etc. And that fights my hoarding instincts. So I generally stay away from Alchemy. But, however, Fixative. And I really wish they would give you better information in game here. So I did look this up, doing a little bit of research on these abilities to make some intelligent decisions based on the lack of information here. Level 3 of this makes blade oils last forever. Like, they don't expire. That seems awful good. I have not done research into what the blade oils are or what they do. But again, just based on Witcher 2, I know they can be pretty good. And if I can use an ability that makes them last forever, or at least until I replace it with a different oil, that seems very, very, very good. So, you know, obviously getting here, I need to invest 20 points into Alchemy. I have no idea where I would put those points. I think Poison Blades, I really like Poison Blades. I'd probably do this one on my way to Fixative. And I'm like, because my assumption is you don't actually have to go down this vertical column. Like I can invest around. Maybe that's wrong. Maybe to get to Fixative, I actually do have to invest into Protective Coating and Poison Blades. We'll find out. But either way, I don't know where those 20 points are going to go. 5 of them are definitely going to go to Poison Blades. And we'll see. We'll go from there. And part of my assumption here too is I don't know how many total ability points there are, but it seems to me like there should be plenty for what I'm trying to do. So I haven't crunched any numbers there to discover, oh, you actually don't have enough ability points to get all the way here. So we'll see. We'll adapt to that as we go. Last but not least, the general section here. Some of these seemed really good, and I called out Sun and Stars previously, but within the context of needing to get down to 12 total abilities equipped, I don't think this is good enough. Because regenerating 10 points per second, and it doesn't work in combat, it's specifically out of combat. That's not very good. Yeah, I originally thought it was a pretty good creature comfort. I guess that's still true, but not when you're limited to 12 abilities. I don't see how this makes the cut. That doesn't make sense to me, especially since food does not seem to be a big problem. I can regenerate, and like, you can meditate almost any time. So healing is not really a problem. I don't think that's good enough, is the ultimate analysis. Cat School techniques. This I really like. Each piece of light armor increases crit damage and fast attack damage. I'm so invested into fast attack, and this can just make it even stronger. Obviously, it's predicated upon how many of my 4 pieces of armor are light armor, right? But my suspicion is that I'm going to have a couple pieces of light armor almost at all times. And even if it's just 1 or 2, I think this is still really good. Bear School, heavy armor, increases vitality and strong attacks. That seems really good as well, but historically, again, I would be surprised with my playstyle if I end up doing a lot of heavy armor for what this implies. But we'll see. I don't know. And then medium increases stamina regeneration. Also helps signs, but I'm not huge into signs. So the armor-based ones all seem really interesting. I feel like almost certainly Cat School is going to make sense, and I'm going to take it. And I actually did want to take that like right now, but the reason I did not is because there's only 1 level, right? It maxes at 1 out of 1. So at level 4, character level 4 here, had I put that point into Cat School and equipped it to this slot, then all 3 of my ability slots are filled. Unless I start swapping Delusion right away. And maybe that's a consideration. But my thinking was to not do that. And just keep investing into things to make myself stronger. And because if I hit level 5, right, like my next ability slot doesn't unlock till 6. So when I hit level 5, had I gone Cat School here, I'm maxed out, right? I'm 3 out of 3 on ability slots, and all 3 of those are at max level. And I've got a point sitting in the bank. So, and then we're also going into a new zone this session, and I assume there's going to be more points of power for me to collect. So I'm going to end up sitting on a whole bunch of points waiting for level 6. That doesn't seem smart. So I wanted to pick something where I can dump points into until I get to level 6 at least. And leveling up is awful slow going. Awful slow going. Those experience points are hard to come by. So that's how I landed where I am. I think that concludes my monologue. We're going to get back into the game.
Geralt and Yennefer were reunited, but something even more important happened in Vizima. Geralt learned that Cirilla, his one-time ward, had returned from afar, and she was in danger. He was to find her, at the Emperor's command and Yennefer's behest.
Looking for a man. Goes by Hendrik.
What do you want with him?
Want to talk to him.
What about?
Give me a bottle of something strong.
You gotta go. I'll open the back way for you.
Got company. Who is it?
Innkeep, vodka. Who's this?
Brave warrior, looks like. Got 2 swords, see?
Oi, grey boy. What's the point of having 2 swords?
Wonder if he keeps an extra prick in his trousers too.
You fucking deaf? Gonna say who you are? Or do I need to loosen your tongue with me knife?
I'm a witcher. Heard you wondering about my swords. Well, one's for monsters, the other for humans. Only got 1 prick, though, in case you're wondering about that, too.
Don't touch him. Don't even look at him. Worse than lepers, that lot.
Saw one in action once. Killed a half-dozen. Blood everywhere. Freak didn't even show a drop of sweat.
Got the stench of corpses on him.
If you want a rest, come with me. I've a bench you can use. Thanks for not starting a row with those swine.
I don't generally poke my nose in other people's business.
Looking to stay the night?
No. I'm looking for Hendrik.
Man lives in Heatherton.
Don't know where that is.
Other side of the hill. Looked that away this morning, saw a strange glow. Imperials on the raid, perhaps. But who knows?
Anything else you can tell me about Hendrik?
Odd fellow. Arrived from who knows where and for no apparent reason. Shacked up with a widow whose husband was stabbed for a scrap of bread.
Baron's men don't like strangers.
Aye, he stays out of their way. Always seems to know when they're coming. Always manages to disappear.
Bloody Baron. How'd he get that moniker? There a story to it?
A time ago, when he was still in the army, some Blackens had holed up in a dye works. Baron and his men were ordered to take it. Others might have bided their time, starved him out. But the Baron's an hasty one, attacked straight away. The Blackens surrendered. Baron and his men took most of them alive. But one of his blokes knocked over a vat of red dye. It all ran into the river. Folk took to saying that the river flowed red with blood. That the Baron had slaughtered his prisoners to a man. Been known as the Bloody Baron ever since.
Kind of ironic.
Well, a week before, he'd massacred a whole squadron in Ingholm. But far fewer heard that story.
Baron's not from around here, right?
He's Temerian, but from other parts. Folks say he deserted along with his company. Showed up here one day with his stragglers. They'd all had enough of the wandering. So they took the old lord's castle, and the Baron became master of Crow's Perch. Reckon once the Blackens feel sure they hold the land, they'll let him keep Crow's Perch. Give him a true title.
Thanks. Farewell. Air's strange, like dropping into a deep cellar on a hot day. And the mist.
Be gone! Leave me be, whoever you is! Get away!
Calm down. It's over.
Aye, it's over. All's past, never to be restored. I'll not forget that ever.
Looking for a man named Hendrik, supposed to live in this village.
Aye, he did. No longer. They nabbed him in that hut. If you'd have heard the cries, sir. If you'd have heard how a man can scream, how he can suffer.
Tell me what happened here, step by step.
They took him. Took him all. The sun was waning, see? And the dusk went crimson like blood. Thought to myself, strange, the toads, I cannot hear them. Save terror through and through. Hendrik screamed. Then he begged. By the end, he could do naught but moan.
Damn it.
Weren't here long, the terrors. Yet the village froze like in the heart of winter.
You in that hut when they rode off?
No, and I'll not set foot there. Never.
Farewell, and peace of mind to you. Tortured him. Maybe they missed something. to check his pockets. Trousers are stiff, as if hung out to dry midwinter. Maybe hid something in his jerkin. Damn, he's cold as ice. Nothing here. Should check his boots. Blood, congealed. Key hidden in his boot. Gotta fit a keyhole. Somewhere nearby, hopefully. There's a draft. Gotta be a space under this rubble. Guess I should do some cleaning. Interesting.
Missing Tamara Strenger, daughter of the Bloody Baron. Presumed kidnapped. Hearty reward for whoever finds her or brings her in.
Ledger. Payment for a sack of grain. Amount due for a charcoal shipment. Hendrik was masquerading as a merchant. What's this? Notes among the ledger entries. Clever. Interesting headings. Missing and wanted. Subject appeared in Skellige, also cited in Novigrad. Appearance unchanged. Ashen hair, scar on her face. Avoids contact with others. Drunken swine. So-called Baron hosted subject at his castle, or should I say, illegally appropriated fort. Reason unknown. Talked to Baron at Crow's Perch. Clashed with a witch. Subject landed in swamp. Encountered a witch. Conflict ensued. Cause unknown. Find the witch. Talk to the peasantry. Village of Midcops. Caution advised. I'm being observed. Don't know by whom or why. Unsettling signs. Dog ran off. Water in bucket froze solid. Strange glow observed in the sky. Ill omen, peasants say. Somehow they learned Hendrik was looking for Ciri, thus the torture. I'm too late. My only leads, the Baron and some witch. Damn.
The Witcher's contact in Velen was to be Hendrik, the Emperor's spy. Hendrik was operating incognito in that war-ravaged land. His mission, to gather intelligence about Ciri. Yet Geralt arrived too late. The Wild Hunt had reached Hendrik first. The Witcher learned nothing from the spy's corpse, but the Wraiths had failed to find his notes. Geralt read them and knew that Ciri had been a guest of the Bloody Baron, a local warlord, and that she'd quarreled with a witch.
Baron home?
Depends who's asking.
A witcher. Want to talk to him?
And I want to plow the lovely Queen Cyril.
Seen this man before. In at the crossroads. You was there not so long ago. Thought you were supposed to go your separate way, nice and all.
It led me here. Gotta talk to the Baron.
Oh, aye? What about?
Something important. His ears only.
Fine. Lodrin, let him in. If he makes any trouble, well, we outnumber him.
Open the gate. Sergeants! Ardle! Witcher, to see the Baron. Don't want no disturbances. That clear?
What do you think? Guard called you a sergeant. You a Temerian soldier?
Not your concern, mate.
Deserter.
Temerian army don't exist no more.
So what are you all doing here?
Had a choice after the Black Ones thrashed us. Let it lie and try to lead normal lives. Or continue to resist, join the guerrillas and fight for our beloved Temeria till death do us part. We chose the former.
And the Baron your commander?
Yeah. Commander.
In Vizima, now those were balls. Attended a few, me and my Annie. Oh, how we danced, how we twirled, ha ha ha!
Ooh!
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, hey!
Enough. I don't care how you do it, but the deliveries must be weekly.
Won't you stay for tea?
No. Besides, you've another guest.
Look at that. Didn't even stay for tea. In spite of all that blabbering about how cultured the nation is. I know who you are. Believe I also know why you've come. We'll talk inside. Make yourself at home. Now, where'd I put the bloody vodka? Ah, there it is. A snifter.
Why not?
Ha! A man after my own heart. With Foltest dead and Natalis whereabouts unknown. Bloody hell. Who's a loyal Temerian to drink to these days?
Himself and his company?
Good enough. To the matter at hand. I'm Philip Strenger, though the Blobtits round here call me the Bloody Baron.
Geralt of Rivia. Blobtits call me the Butcher of Blaviken.
I said already, I know who you are. Truth be told, it's the only reason we're talking. How do you like it here in Velen?
I don't. Swamps, bogs, marshes everywhere.
Exactly. Someone loses their way around here, he becomes damn hard to find.
What are you getting at?
Many have lost loved ones here. Some their wives, others their daughters.
Get to the point already.
Ciri, that's why you've come, isn't it?
So she was here.
She showed up some time ago. Exhausted, wounded, and stinking like a soaked hound after a hard hunt. Later, I learned she'd come from the swamp. Said some beasts from the woods attacked her before she could reach the village.
That was close. you can calm down. Hello there. Are you lost?
A little, I guess. Are you?
Yes. Though also just a little.
Does that mean you know which way to go?
Not quite. Not yet. But I'm sure we'll find the way if we set off together.
What happened to you?
This? It's nothing. How did you wind up here?
My father brought me. Told me to follow the trail of treats and eat my fill. He said he would wait. So I started down the trail, but then I saw a butterfly, and I ran to catch it, and I lost my way.
Your father, why did he have you follow the trail of treats? Do you know?
Because we had an app to break our fast with.
I don't understand.
I was naughty. Broke a jug. Spilled all our milk.
Your parents must have been angry.
Mother said I should be spanked. But Father said wouldn't do no good. Too many mouths to feed anyway. Sending me down the trail of treats. That would solve things.
You and your father, when did you leave home?
This morning.
And did the sun warm your face or your back?
It warmed my back.
So we must go east. Come, I'll walk you home. And explain to your parents that they must not lose their children in the woods.
We can't go home because of the Wolf King and his pack.
No kings among wolves.
These have one.
And you've seen him?
Yes. I mean, no. From behind a tree. He was huge, with giant eyes and great fangs, and he was terribly, disgustingly horrific.
See what I've got on my back? Wolves fear it. Kings do too. Come, I'll help you up.
Look! There's something there.
Wait here. Don't come any closer.
But...
No buts. Stay here. I must see something. Bloodshot, but still moist. He died recently. Lips parted and bloated. Bit clear through his tongue. Immense pain before death. His chest is crushed. Ribs probably pierced his lungs. Something picked him up and threw him against the tree. Something tore his leg off. No, gnawed it off.
Ew, that's horrible!
Stay there, and look away. What's this? Marrow's missing. Interesting. Let's see. His liver's gone.
Why are you digging through his belly?
Would you mind making certain your laces are tied? The Wolf King's no fantasy, it seems. Except he's a werewolf.
What happened to him?
He had a fall.
I bet. The Wolf King got him.
When did children get so smart?
What'll we do when the Wolf King finds us?
Good question. I've no silver, but I can make a blade oil.
Oil? You mean like we make from rapeseed?
No. A far more special oil. Of dog tallow, wolf's bane, fool's parsley, and wolf's liver. The Wolf King will feel terrible, terrible pain.
You're smart. How do you know these things? Did your father teach you?
Not my father. My uncle. Uncle Vesemir. All right. I have everything. Now for a spot where I can build a fire and brew the oil in peace.
What you doing?
Greasing my blade. There. We'll see just how effective Uncle Vesemir's formulae are. Do parents often send their children out to follow the sweets?
Sometimes they send their children, sometimes they go themselves.
Do they return?
No. Why would they? They've plenty to eat where the path ends. It's a bit dark.
Afraid?
Are you?
No.
Then I'm not either.
What?
The Wolf King, now do you believe me?
I do. Hide!
Give him a drubbing. Never seen anything like it.
Girl, you can come out now. Come on. You have bandages at home? Some spirit? He laid a claw or two on me, unfortunately.
I've not, miss, but my lord, he's a powerful man. He's sure to help you. Might even reward you for cutting the werewolf down.
Very well. Lead us to your lord.
Just who do you think you brought me, man? That's not me daughter.
And the little one?
Neither, damn it! I think I'd know my own child.
Well, might not be yours, the older one, but you've got to admit the likeness. That's downright striking. So, any chance for that reward?
You'll not see one fucking copper. Get out before I set my hounds on you. So, stew any good?
Very. Thank you. I'd not eaten in...
Clear to see. I'm pleased you like it. Had them prepare a bath for you once you've eaten. And you could do with some sleep. Gretka in the nook behind the hearth. You in the guest room opposite the kitchen.
Thank you.
Shh. Eat now. We'll speak once you've rested. So I ordered my men to watch her and left her to rest.
And?
A topic for another time.
No, a topic for now. Talk.
That sharpness. What's your tone, Witcher? We wish to come to an agreement, do we not?
Take it you won't give me this information for free.
Sharp you are. I regret your loss. Commiserate. But you see, it so happens my wife and daughter are missing as well. I propose an exchange. Find my loved ones, and I shall tell you about the girl you seek. All I know.
Fine, I'll help you. I'll find your family, but then you'll give me every bit of information you have.
You have my word. Guard! This man's under my protection. No one's to bother him in any way. Don't stare, I've not grown horns. Treat it as a token of my good faith.
When did you see them last?
They vanished after the new moon, as if whisked away by shadows.
What do you mean, vanished?
Precisely that. I awoke one morn to find them gone.
Can't start searching till I know what they look like.
Tamara, my daughter, turned 19 in the spring. Slender lass, about yay tall, comes up to my shoulders. Beautiful eyes, green like her mother's. My wife, Anna, has 20 winters behind her that she'd never admit it. Dark hair, thick as tar, keeps it tied up in a bun.
You try to search for them?
Sent men out right away, but they're not suited to it. It's one thing to rip up floorboards in search of a peasant's last sack of grain. Finding a living person, they just don't know how. Besides, Velen's naught but swamps and marshy woodland. Plenty of hard-to-find nooks. If you're looking to hide someone, this is the place.
Maybe they were kidnapped. Got any enemies?
None worth mentioning. Worthless little pricks and angry peasants is all. None would dare raise a finger against my family. Any who might have, they've been eating dirt long since.
This place. Must be hard to be the only 2 women here.
This place? What do you mean? They wanted for nothing here. Pheasant for dinner? Not a problem. Blue ribbons from Toussaint? Say the word.
Had your men in mind. Their company. Sure your wife and daughter weren't being harassed?
My men are a horde of whoresons, but they know their place. One of them so much as looked at Anna or Tamara crosswise, I'd cut him down like a dog.
Anything unusual happen before they disappeared? They act differently, do anything strange?
Unusual? No. Well, not long ago, peasants came to complain that a beast had ravaged a woman by the well. Devoured another lass before her. Common occurrences in Velen. And my women, Anna, quiet as a mouse as ever, and Tamara, occupied with her things, nothing unusual.
I'll need to know a lot more than that. Can I see their rooms?
What for?
I need clues. Anything to latch onto.
I'll not let a stranger pore through their belongings.
Want me to find them or not?
I do.
Then let me work.
Fine. But I shall go with you. The doors are locked. When she was a babe, my daughter loved animals. Saw a deer trophy on a wall once. Do you know what she asked?
Haven't got a clue.
Papa, is that deer's wump on the other side of the wall?
Use and hair of the hound.
You see it there? Oh, what's a trophy? I pity any bastard who's hurt her. I'll flay him alive. Here it is. Damn it! Jammed again. Our bedchamber. Tamara's room is there.
candlestick. Stem's broken. Fresh flowers. He expects them to return any minute. Takes hope. Walls a different color. Something used to hang here. That painting? Right size. The Baron and his wife. Look happy enough. What's this? Gotta wonder who wanted to hide the hole. And what's on the other side. It gets interesting. Piece of wood looks like the stem of that candlestick. No coincidence there. Fight might have happened here. Ought to look for clues. Deep nicks. Hit with a heavy object. Rest of the candlestick. And wine stains. Somebody smashed a bottle. From Toussaint. Yeah, Herveloos. Scent hasn't died. Wonder where it'll lead me. Incense. And an old key. Wonder what it unlocks. Anise. Sandalwood. And something else. Saffron.
We are more like a family. We support each other and help each other survive tough moments. Grapple with the past, for each of us has a past. So you needn't worry about anyone digging into yours. We've got a rule: never ask more than someone offers on their own. The past doesn't matter to us, only the future does. That and our common fight against evil and depravity, against pervasive and loathsome practices of all kinds.
Damn, trail breaks off. Could find something else, though. Spruce wood. Smells of juniper incense. Some sort of folk talisman. Protective. Question is, against what? Won't find much else here.
Done poking around?
Recognize this amulet?
Yes. Anna began wearing it a time ago.
Any idea where she got it?
None.
Any witches or cunning women in the area?
A Pella. Old Coot lives near Blackbow. And there's a cunning woman in Midcopse, but I know little about her. She's only recently arrived. If Anna were to see someone, she'd choose the Pella, not the woman. Anna was wary of strangers, newcomers.
Found signs of a fight in the room. Know anything about that?
A fight? What are you talking about?
Someone was attacked. Probably your wife or daughter. Whoever it was tried to defend themselves with a candlestick. Missed the attacker. Punctured the wall instead. They tussled too.
I don't know nothing about this. That night, I was drunk. Don't remember a thing. They were gone by the time I awoke.
Doubt you were the only ones in the castle. Maybe one of your men heard something?
3 times I asked those bastards if they'd seen anything, heard anything. Nothing, not a one of them.
Whole landing smells of wine. Tell me anything about that?
One of the lads, must be. Lushes, one and all.
Give your men Ervelus?
Oh, damn it. I might have spilled it. I told you I was good and marinated that night. What does it matter? Stench of wine in plenty of corn around the castle.
Ought to have a chat with this Peller.
Fair warning, he's a hard man to talk to. Rumour has it he killed his own father with an axe as a lad, then went batty. Now they say he sees ghosts and ploughs his goat.
Not really interested in his hobbies. Just want to ask about the amulet.
Hair of the hound. Got any vodka?
Alright. I think I know which direction this is going, but maybe not. I'll find out. But that's where I'm going to wrap it this time. We'll pick up next time on the trail of these missing ladies. Until then, thank you all so much. Please like and subscribe. This has been Honest Man, and I will see you next time with more Witcher.